Arguably few aircraft are quite as iconic as the striking-looking SR-71 Blackbird spy plane, renowned for its ability to cruise at 3 times the speed of sound so as to outrun enemy surface-to-air missiles. But the Blackbirds was actually an enlarged evolution of the Lockheed A-12, designed for service with the Central Intelligence Agency. The single-seat A-12 could fly slightly faster and higher, but it was doomed to be replaced by its heavier Air Force spin-off. By the late 1950s, aviation engineers knew that new Soviet surface-to-air missiles could effectively threaten high-altitude U-2 spy plane overflights of the Soviet Union. This was dramatically illustrated by the shoot-down of Gary Power's U-2 in 1960 over the Soviet Union, which triggering a humiliating political crisis. A second U-2 was shot down during the Cuban Missile Crisis, an event which could have sparked a global nuclear war. Engineers in Lockheed's Skunk Works facility worked on a U-2 successor using new survivability strategies, sustained supersonic cruising speeds to outrun missiles, electronic warfare systems to suppress their guidance systems, and a stealth-optimized airframe incorporating radar-absorbent materials to decrease the range at which the spy plane could be detected. Designer Kelly Johnson went through 11 concepts for its Archangel spy plane before settling on the 12th, the A-12, later codenamed Oxcart by the CIA, and nicknamed Cygnus by its pilots. The last iteration added Chine's thin blade-like protrusions from the sides of the jet that reduced its radar profile and coincidentally improved its lift. The A-12's airframe needed to withstand extremely high temperatures for prolonged periods, so the Oxcart was built out of super-hard titanium. The Soviet Union was the chief global supplier of titanium, so the CIA used shell companies purchase the rare metal from the country it intended to spy upon. However, the hard metal proved extremely difficult to work or shape into curved surfaces, requiring the development of new drill bits and hybrid manufacturing processes. The spy plane undertook its first 2 flights in April 1962 at Groom Lake, better known as Area 51, initially using less powerful J-75 turbojets. Lockheed built only 12 of the super-secret stealth jets, plus a lone J-75-powered 2-seat trainer named Titanium Goose and 2 2-seat M21 drone carriers. The aircraft were piloted by 16 demilitarized Air Force pilots who made it through an astronaut-style screening process. The M21 carried supersonic D-21 drones on its back, which themselves clearly took after aspects of the A-12 itself. However, on a 4th test run in 1966, a D-21 fatally collided with its M21 mothership. Both crew ejected, but flight engineer drowned awaiting rescue. 4 more A-12s were lost in accidents, killing 2 more pilots. Evolving technology and political circumstances both conspired to undermine the A-12's relevance. Following the Gary Powers fiasco, Washington finally decided to cease illegal overflights of Soviet territory, killing much of the A-12's raison d'etre. After all, new CIA-operated Corona spy satellites could obtain similar photo intelligence, though not always as quickly, and with lower resolution, but crucially, without putting pilots at risk or heightening Cold War tensions. Meanwhile, the Air Force also was interested in the A-12's airframe, and ordered develop an interceptor variant called the YF-12, as well as an unclassified SR-71 Blackbird 2-seat strategic reconnaissance variant with side-looking cameras, enabling gathering of photo intelligence without having to fly over interdicted airspace. The SR-71 was 6 feet longer than the A-12 and could carry 20,000 pounds more equipment and fuel. Even LBJ's guns and butter economy could not accommodate both highly expensive spy planes. So in November 12, 1967, the CIA and Air Force models flew off in a competitive evaluation codenamed Nice Girl. Testers reported the A-12 was slightly stealthier, could fly 5% higher at 90,000 feet and a bit faster with maximum speed of 2,212 miles per hour compared to the Blackbird's 2,193 miles per hour. But the evaluators felt these incremental performance improvements were greatly outweighed by the Blackbird's ability to carry multiple reconnaissance systems at once, as well as electronic countermeasures more likely to keep it alive. The Blackbird could also fly a few hundred miles further with its heavier fuel load. The A-12 would be retired just 7 months later. Prior to its retirement, however, between May 1967 and March 1968, the CIA deployed 3 A-12s to Okinawa, Japan, where they flew 29 spy missions over Vietnam, North Korea, and Cambodia. These missions were greatly valued by the Johnson administration, revealing that North Vietnam had not deployed surface-to-surface missiles as had been feared, as well as locating the hijacked U.S. spy ship USS Pueblo in North Korea. However, the A-12 stealth characteristics were proven to be inadequate versus Soviet radars. On one mission over Hanoi, an A-12 was damaged by missile fragments after being chased by 6 S-75 missiles. The Black Shield flights proved valuable, but also suggested it's a good thing the A-12s were never assigned for overflights of the Soviet Union, which was defended by more advanced surface-to-air missiles and interceptors. Today, the surviving A-12 airframe can be seen in exhibitions across the country, including the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, and on board the USS Intrepid museum carrier at New York City.